Hey everybody, welcome into Rock Painting 101, where we give you fun, new rock painting ideas that anybody can create. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you do, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Let's get painting. As the caption says above, if you follow the page, you will notice I posted earlier this week that we lost our dear Pooch on Halloween. And I know in the comment section, so many other people have gone through things like this. I've gone through it before when I was younger as well. So I wanted to do a fun tribute style memorial rock. So this can be customized for whatever style of pet possibly you have. I know a lot of people mentioned the Rainbow Bridge poem, which is really sweet. And so thank you for all of your warm, loving comments that you left for me on the page. So we're going to do a Rainbow Bridge inspired paw print style rock today for our live tutorial. So what you'll need for this, I've got all acrylic paint today. I'm doing the 6 colors of the rainbow. I don't usually use indigo when I do rainbow rocks. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and then I also have black for the paw print. I will use a smaller paint pen for writing on the rock, which I just realized I've misplaced somewhere. I guess we can deal with that when we get that far along. Oh, here we go. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Did you lose internet? I don't believe so. Let me see. Can you see my hands? I'm just talking, so maybe you can't see me moving around. Hopefully you can hear my voice. If you can hear me loud and clear, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Yeah, I just was not in the screen, I guess. Yeah. So what you need to do to create this kind of rainbow, we're just going to do a wispy style rainbow here on the stone. You want to look for a square edged brush, but before you get started, like this one here, if I look at this, I'm not going to be able to get 6 stripes of color on here without overlapping or running over the edges or anything like that. So make sure that you pick a brush that is thin enough width-wise for your rock. Depends on the size of rock as far as what size of brush. You want to get away with kind of one stroke back and forth. So this one, see, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with a little bit of wiggle room. So this is the one I'm using for this project. So keep that in mind when you are picking out your supplies for creating this stone. Pardon me, I got some water off to the side here. I got a little bit of a dry throat today. So the first stripes you're going to do, we're actually going to start from the center and work our way out. This will make it easier to get your spacing correct. And also, if you notice, the lighter colors are kind of in the middle, so cleaning your brush and stuff will be a lot easier too. So I'm going to start with my yellow here. And we're going to create one of our rainbow stripes here. So just load up your brush. Can you see? Yeah, you can see my paintbrush. So the center of the stone is right about here. I'm going to kind of have it going, let's see, when I stand this, I'm going to stand it up next to a photo. I kind of want it going at a slant. So this is actually the bottom of the stone for me. So the center line is going to be right about here. So we want to go just above that center line. I'm going to start in the middle. I'm just going to do one straight up and kind of wisp it a little bit, and then one stripe down and kind of wisp it a little bit. I don't want it a perfect edge on either side. Just like that. Plain, simple, one stripe. And we're gonna clean out our brush. Probably got out a little bit too much paint there. And I do have, I buy these super cheap towels. I probably got them at Ace Hardware or something, or the dollar store, that I keep just so you can dry off your brush in between. You don't want to be going into your paint with a super wet brush. So next we'll go ahead and do our green stripe on the opposite side here. And we're just going to build out this rainbow. So if you're joining in live, take me a second to kind of build out this rainbow. Feel free to drop where you're watching from. I love seeing how far these videos reach different countries, all through the States. I'm just going to be real intentional with my stripe and get that nice little wisp at the end here.
that. And we're gonna rinse and just keep working through. Got California. Ooh, a couple from California, 2 in a row there. Oh, we have another Susan Marie. Susan Marie, I'm a Susan Marie. I go by Susie, but I'm a Marie as well. I think a lot of people born in our generation are Maries though. Wisconsin, I'm gonna actually flip my rock because I'm more comfortable working with the right edge. There we go, Alberta. We always joked that my dog's middle name was Marie too, because I gave my daughter a Marie as well. Okay, we'll go ahead and just finish up this side and do our red while we've got it turned this way. New York, Indiana. All right, red on here. There we go. Another California. I think California is winning right now. It's pretty early over in California. You guys are up and at 'em and ready to paint some rocks, huh? All right, so now we're gonna do the other side. We're gonna do our blue and purple over here. UK. All right, make sure I'm staying in frame for you guys here. I can't talk while I paint straight lines. I'm sure you guys know that feeling. There we go. And one more to go here. Get our purple on. So for those of you guys joining in, I'm doing a rainbow here. We're gonna do a paw print, dog paw print here today for the rainbow bridge poem. A lot of people dropped that for me and it really is a beautiful poem. If you've ever lost a pet, I'm sure you're familiar with it. And if you're not, you should Google it. It's very sweet. All right, so we're gonna give this just a second here to dry. I am painting a rainbow. It's gonna be kind of the backdrop for my paw print. So yes, technically this is all you would need to do a rainbow with wispy edges. You could turn this into a word rock really easily too. Or just do a really cool Zentangle design on top of it. So I'm gonna put this off to the side for just a second. We're gonna talk a little bit about laying out your paw prints, because that sometimes could be that's probably the hardest part about this rock. Let me grab my pencil here, and I'm actually gonna pull over Post-it notes because there's a bunch of mumbo jumbo on this paper. So when doing a dog paw print, I find the easiest way to kind of lay it out, and it's good to practice. You want to practice this maybe on a piece of paper a couple of times so you can get your sizing right. But we're going to start by just kind of sketching a little triangle, maybe a tall skinny triangle, and then 2 of your fingers, whatever you want to call them, are going to be towards the top, and then 2 are going to be more along the side. For a dog, you know, every animal is gonna be a little different, and I'm sure you can Google what your print actually looks like and then kind of go from there. Now from this triangle, we're gonna create a round tip at the top. We're gonna follow this one down and we're gonna kind of bulge it to the side a little bit. around this other one. So it's going to come down and then kind of bulge around that other one a little bit. And then you're going to have, I think I came up a little too high, a paw print. So that's why I said you can kind of play around on paper and doodle it just a little bit so that you get a good idea of the size. See, so we're going to come back over here and see, does that size look good? I might cut out my paper just to kind of make sure. That we're on the right path there. Maybe we'll have this come a little lower here. There we go. So we've got kind of a decent paw print here. I like that. All right, and now I'm gonna cut this one out because I just wanna make sure we're gonna get a little closer to this paw print just to make sure that we're about right on the size that we're working with here as well. And since we're working right on this nice stone. So if we've got this, like I said, I want the paw print kind of walking up the rainbow. So we've got a good size here. I did pretty good, okay? So our paws aren't gonna come off the rainbow. I'm gonna have space because I wanted to write her name here at the bottom. So we're looking pretty good there, okay? So feel free to doodle a couple of times, give yourself a couple little practices. But if you just kind of start with that triangle shape and kind of work around that, so maybe not quite as tall of a triangle, like I said, just maybe more of a generic triangle. I am going to sketch it on here with pencil first before I start painting with my black acrylic paint, just because it's a little bit more forgiving, and this one's very special to me, so this might be a little bit of a longer live than normal because I'm going to be extra careful with this one. Not that I don't spend time on the rocks I hide, but this one, yeah, you get it, I think. I don't need to explain that much more. So I'm turning my stone this way so that my rainbow is going up and down, and that way when I'm writing this on here, it's fitting properly. And again, I'm putting the name at the bottom, so I'm not going to do it right in the middle. I'm actually going to bump up just slightly here. So very lightly, I'm going to actually start with my triangle really small here, and then I'll build around that shape because black will cover pencil really well. So I just want to make sure that I get it all on here. So we're going to start with our triangle, and I'm going to do my print parts first here. And you can always err on the side of small. You can always make them bigger if you need to. Okay, so we got those two. And if that was rounded here, you'd come out a little bit. And then we're gonna have our other two about here, maybe a little bigger. And here, can't really see it on the blue very well, but I can. So that works. If you're working at home, you'd be able to see that okay. He's a little bit smaller here than I was doing on my sketchbook. So again, you can make it a little bit bigger because the pencil is going to be under black acrylic paint. Black covers pencil really well. And it kind of comes up just a little bit in the center on the bottom there. And as we fill it in, we can kind of make some adjustments too. So there we go. So we'll sit like this. Again, it's hard for you guys to see, but this is the way it stands for me. So there we go. If you do make a mistake, if you have I love these white erasers. You can kind of get in there without making too much of a mess on your paint. Sometimes pencil ink can get kind of smudgy. Just make sure that you're taking the pencil back off your eraser so you're back to white really quickly. Okay. All right, as we fill that in, I might make some little adjustments too. All right, so let's get our paint palette back over here. And I have this stuck. I use painter's tape sometimes on the back side of my palette so they don't wiggle around on me too much. All right, now I've got a smaller brush I'm going to use for filling in my paw print. just so I can be a little bit more accurate. And when you're filling in shapes like this, I tend to start in the center by placing a little paint in the center and then working my way out to the edges. So I'm going to kind of lay a little paint here in the middle, and then that way I can really carefully get out to that edge. Like that. And I'm going to be turning my rock so many times. Hopefully I'm going to keep an eye so I stay in frame. And we'll get this paw print on here. Nice and carefully. Again, place the paint kind of in the middle just so that you don't have a big blob of paint on your paintbrush. So you don't spill over your edge. So I continue to, like I said, I'm turning my rock a lot because I'm more accurate with the right side of my brush than the left side of my brush. If you're a lefty, it might be opposite for you. But I find if I'm turning my rock so that that right edge is the one that I'm being accurate with, I can get a more precise line to my painting. Okay, so we got our paw print. You could do two if you really wanted to do two. I think that would be probably something that would drive me crazy because I would have a really hard time getting them to look exactly the same. So I'm only going to do the one, and I'm totally okay with that and happy with that. I've got some words I'm going to add on here, so that was all part of the plan. All right, so for my lettering, let me get this out of here so I don't put my wrist in it. For my lettering, I'm going to use, I've got my PC1MR Posca style paint pen here. So I'm going to write Roxy, and then I'm going to add her RIP and the date that she passed or went onto the Rainbow Bridge. And so I'm going to do the same style that I do a lot again. So this is the way it stands. I know people kind of come in and out. So this is the way my rock stands. This is the bottom. So that's why I wanted it kind of going at an angle, but I wanted her print going up the rainbow. So we're going to leave space at the bottom here, because like I said, I want to put RIP in the date. So her name is going to be right above that. So I'm going to write it on single line first. I'm using kind of like a basic cursive here. The only thing I'm going to do different is I don't go straight into a loopy. It kind of curled up, and then I'm going to do this regular kind of, and form it outer. I'm dotting her eye with a heart. And then cross that X. Okay. Now for any of the downstrokes, I'm going to thicken them up. For any of them that were going up, I'm just going to leave them as they were. So the R going down here would be a little bit wider. And I know this is probably not the greatest angle for writing. You can't see what I'm doing. Let me see here. If I hold up, I don't want to try to move you in the middle of the video, but I might. There we go. So now you'll be able to see what I'm doing a little bit better while I'm writing on here. So the downstroke, like when you're writing a letter, is where we're going to thicken up. So anywhere where the vertical line is when you're going down will be thicker. So we're going straight across and then down. So this part here on the R, we'll thicken that up. And then this part here going down on the R, we'll thicken that up. And the curl up would be, okay. And then the O this way would be wider. And then the down on the X going this direction would be wider because that's down. That's up, but then you come back down the I. And then the left side of the E here is where we go down. Okay. Why don't I just hit you guys with my forehead? All right, so, and then we're going to add her date. All right. That R looks a little off to me. I don't know if that's quite fixable without going. I think I need to go in with a little yellow there. So I'm going to wait till that dries, and I might go in and fix that a little bit because I'm not in love with that R. The thickness got a little bit away from me there on that. But since I used my straight plain colored acrylic paint, I can get in and I can fix that in a little bit. So, but there we go. So a nice little tribute style rock. So if you've ever lost a pet, or even if you have a good friend of yours that has a pet that goes across the Rainbow Bridge, this is a nice project that you can make for them as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I'll probably go in, like I said, I'm gonna go in and kind of play with that R once that paint dries there. If you want to stick around, maybe I'll keep it up live. I can answer questions here for a couple of minutes while I'm live. What kind of rock am I using? This is a Santorini style stone. They are a little bit more expensive. I don't tend to do a lot of these large ones like this to hide around town, but for a special project like this, it's worth it to me to use. So there are links to some of these on Amazon in our supply link. As far as the paints that I was using, they're all from the Deco Art Pack. I believe they're all from the same pack. The green might be from a different one because it's grasshopper green, but I thought the bright green was really pretty to use. And the only reason I think it may be from a different pack is this one has a red dot on the lid, and so does my blue. I don't know if you can see that or not. And the blue and red both say true red, true blue. And the orange has that dot, but my green doesn't have it on. So I get a lot of different paints from different packs all the time. So let me find a very tiny little brush here. And we're gonna go in with some yellow and we're gonna fix this R. Because I don't like it. Oop, sorry. Not trying to make you dizzy. The hard part about fixing this, why I got you guys on camera, is I can't get my nose way in there, but I'm going to try to do it anyways, just because I don't like doing stuff after. I get off the camera that much. There we go. Oh, that looks better already. Amazing what a little change can do. I'm going to need a second coat. I can kind of see my black through, but doesn't that just make a world of difference? So I'm happy with that. So I got a super tiny brush. This is like a 4/0 is what it says on it. And I tell you what, brushes can last forever. This is one of my mom's paint brushes that she used probably when she was in college. So, all right, so I'll let that dry. I won't make you sit and watch for me to do a second coat, but I did want you to see how you can go in and you can make some little changes like that. Or even if you mess up like on the edge of one of your paws, if you want to come in here and touch up, since we used straight colors, we didn't mix our colors, you can always come back in and kind of mess with your paw print just a little bit if you need to. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to follow us here on Facebook. We are live just about every Thursday. So we will be back next week with another live rock painting tutorial. So I hope you join us again. We'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.